Okay, we're good to go. Let's start out finding a nice comfortable seat. So remember, that means finding a space where your hips are higher than your knees. So you can sit cross-legged if you want. You can sit on your shins like this if you want. If you have yoga blocks handy, you can turn them on their side, make a little bench for yourself and sit on them like this. That's another little comfortable spot. Every once in a while, I just like to review what a comfortable seat means. You want your hips to be higher than your knees so that you can maintain that nice neutral spine in your lower back. So let's sit nice and tall, ground down through the sits bones and the tailbone, and then feel that nice long line of energy going up the spine and out through the crown of your head. Let your legs just be heavy on the floor. Take your hands together and rub them together. Let's make some heat and some warmth. Softly close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And once your hands are nice and toasty, place them right over your belly. So you've created this little energetic warmth hot pack for your belly. Maybe the hands can be side by side, meaning right at the level of the navel. So you have one hand on your upper abdomen, one hand on your lower abdomen. So feel the exchange between the hands and the belly. You're giving the belly some warmth from your hands, and your hands are moving in and out from riding on the breath. As you inhale, press the belly into the hands. Really let the belly puff out and let that diaphragm drop. Fill the lungs all the way down and out. Imagine the very outside edges of your lungs filling up with air, all the way up to your collarbones. The lungs take up a huge amount of space in your chest cavity. And as you exhale, exhale all that air out, and at the very end, squeeze the belly button in, like you're trying to get all that stale leftover air that's in the bottom out. And let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, push the belly out, drop the diaphragm, fill the lungs all the way up until you feel like you can't take in any more air, and then maybe one more little sip of air. And then as you exhale, blow all the air out into the room. Keep going, keep going, keep going until you feel like it's all out. And one more little squeeze, get it all out. And then let's do that again. Inhale, push the belly into the hands, fill the lungs, bottom to top, all the way up. We're inviting nutrients in when we inhale. All of our tissues and organs need it. Exhale, squeeze the air out, get rid of wastes. And then return your breath to your natural breath. Keep your eyes closed. Take your hands together again and rub them together. Give them a little warm up. And once they're nice and toasty, place them over your heart center. So I like to put one hand on my heart and the other hand stacked on top of it. Now get really quiet and see if you can feel your heart beating beneath your hands. So again, we have this gentle exchange of warmth to the chest, the heart center. And then we have this thumping or vibration from the heart into the hands. Keep your breath flowing. Keep feeling into the heartbeat. As you dedicate and offer this practice up to you, allowing yourself to slow way down. Taking this intentional pause out of your day. One more time. Let's bring the hands together. Rub them together, make some friction, warm them up again. Nice and toasty. And then cup them and place them over your closed eyes, one over each eye. Feel the warmth over your eyes. The sense organs, your two eyes that take in so much input during the day, most of which is unconscious. We just take it in and take it in. And our visual input affects us on an unconscious level and can cause us to act certain ways and react certain ways during the day. So Marianne and Steve, Marianne mentioned her eyes just feel strained. Feel this warmth over your eyes as they're soothed and rested. Imagine the warmth sinking into all the supporting muscles all around the back of your eyeballs, both of them. You have this amazing little network and basket of muscles back there that hold the eyeballs and move the eyeballs, and then our nerves that bring the messages to the brain. Everything is just taking a rest. Keeping your eyes relaxed. Open them just a slit. So you have your hands over your eyes, and maybe you're starting to let in a little bit of the room into your visual field, the space in between your hands, maybe a little light in between your fingers. And then slowly start to spread your fingers apart just a little bit more, letting in a little more room, a little more light, and even more, starting to open your eyes a little more, until eventually you bring your hands down away from your face, and you are back to the room. Regain your nice tall spine, bring your hands out to the side, and tent your fingers up onto your fingertips. Keeping your shoulders down away from the ears, a little belly button pull in to help support the core. Walk your fingertips as far away from you as you can, so you can see I'm really stretching, like if you're trying to reach, I'm gonna say a piece of chocolate just beyond your reach, because I love chocolate, whatever it is that you love, a delicious cookie or your favorite Thanksgiving dessert. Reaching, trying to reach, but you just can't get it. It's just out of reach. Keep the shoulders down and keep the top of the head going up toward the sky. Now gently tuck your chin in slightly. See if you can feel the space that you've made along the sides of your neck and up the back of your neck. And then from here, keep your head facing forward. Slowly side bend and bring your right ear to your right shoulder. You may notice that it doesn't go very far because we've got the left fingertips, the opposite side, really stretched out. So keep a little tuck of that chin so it's a true side bend, keeping any rotation out of it. Sometimes our bodies can cheat automatically to say, I know I can get that ear to the shoulder. So we want to keep ourselves honest and keep a pure side bend here in the neck. And then inhale your way through center. Keep reaching, and then exhale, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And just notice if you have one side that's got more flexibility than the other. I tend to have a bad habit sometimes of talking on the phone, pinching the phone between my ear and shoulder. So if you do that, notice what side you usually do it on, and you may have less flexibility going in the opposite direction. So we have all of these habitual movement patterns that we partake in throughout our day, whether it's recreational or vocational, whatever it is, driving, standing. So we're going to try to smooth out all of that today. Inhale your way back up. Relax your hands down by your sides. Take your left hand, place your back of your hand on your lower back. Keep this shoulder down and heavy, as if you had a gentle hand reminding you to keep the shoulder down. This right hand is out to the side. And then turn your gaze so you're looking over where your front pocket would be on your right hip, and then gaze down at that spot. So you have the heaviness and the weight of that opposite shoulder and shoulder blade. And you're tucking the chin right down, looking at a diagonal. See where you feel that. So I invite you to find, and I'll remind you, to find a gaze point with every single shape that we make with our bodies. Every shape has one. You can close your eyes to give that visual field and your eyes a rest. Or if you find a spot to stare at and keep your eyes soft, it's the same thing, same effect. Inhale, let's bring the head back to center very slowly. Stretch the left arm back out again and take the right back of your hand to find the lower back, almost like if you were tucking it under your seat. Let that shoulder be nice and heavy. Turn your head to the left and then forward bend your neck so that you're trying to find your left front hip pocket. Let the chin be heavy, let the forehead be heavy. And I will say, remember, we stay away from pain, numbness, tingling, burning. We have this amazing network of nerves that exits out of the muscles that we're stretching. Cervical plexus goes down to the front of the armpit, which is the brachial plexus. And sometimes if we do these stretches too aggressively, you may feel tingling going down your arm. If you feel that or burning, just back off a little bit until that sensation goes away. Inhale your head back up. Let's come back to center and just bring your hands to rest on your lap. If you have your legs crossed, uncross them and recross them with the other leg in front, just to give the hips a little symmetrical stretch. Sit up nice and tall. I'm going to turn to the side to show you what we're going to do next. So here I am. I have computer neck. My chin is kind of going forward. I'm going to exaggerate a little bit for the purpose of teaching you this. So we're sitting up nice and tall. And as I tuck my chin back, you can see I'm not going up or down. It's straight back. So my ear is coming over my shoulder. And I'm feeling a very intense stretch at the base of this ridge of my skull. So let's do that together. So sit up nice and tall. Chin, as if you had your finger, you can even take a finger and push your chin straight back. Feel that stretch. Hold it there. Keep your chin tucked. Slowly rotate and look over your left shoulder. Only go as far as feels comfortable. Significant resistance in the tissues, that mild to moderate sensation. Keep your chin tucked. Rotate back through center. And then rotate to the right. Shoulders are relaxed. One more time in each direction. Straight. Come back to center. Rotate left. Rotate back through center. Rotate right. Now from here, take your chin. As you start to bring your head down, start to imagine that you're drawing a line, like a half circle, across your chest and over to the other shoulder. And slowly working from one side to the other. Shoulders are heavy. One side to the other, this half arc. And if you feel a sticky spot or a spot that would feel really good to linger with a little extra stretch, stop there and wiggle around like a bobblehead and see if you can release any tension that you're feeling. Just a couple more times on each side. So we get a lot of tension in this technology neck. And the next time you glide over to your right shoulder, no hurry. Keep going all the way up and bring your head back to center. Let's come into shoelace pose with some more arm stretches. So take your right leg and bring it underneath you with the knee bent. I'm going to show you two variations if this one with the stacked knees is too intense. And then bend the left leg and place it on top. So you see my feet are kind of going out this way, and I'm working toward getting my knees stacked on top of each other. I'm not going to hassle myself though, because it's more important for me to keep a nice straight spine. If this is too intense, you can keep the bottom legs straight if it's too much on the knees. If it's not, you can keep them bent. Inhale your arms out to a T. Really splay your chest wide. Take a peek up at the sky. Take your left hand and bring it up so that it's parallel with your ear, and simply bend your elbows if you're giving yourself a pat on the back. Now maintain your nice upright position, which means if bringing your elbow up close to your ear makes you go like this, so stay up nice and tall and just bring your elbow out a little bit. Now take this right hand that we have still out hanging in the breeze, rotate it so that your thumb is down, bring it behind your back as if you're trying to connect your two hands. You can see, I'm just going to show you, my hands don't come near each other. So this is how I look from behind. But the most important thing is my chest is nice and broad and I'm sitting up nice and tall, okay? That's what you want going on in the upper body. So elbows are growing back, chest is broad. You can close your eyes here or you can find a soft gaze point. So we're unpacking some tension in the hips, as well as the chest and the shoulders. Our nerves and blood vessels run through our connective tissue, fascia, bone, muscles. And so what happens is when all of those structures get short, then we don't have as great a circulation, nerve communication. So we're making space for all of that. Let's take one more big breath in. And as you exhale, first just slowly start to release your arms, shake them out, wiggle them out. And then let's unwind the legs. You can shake your legs out if you need to. Anything that would feel good to release that. And we'll do that on the other side. So first we're going to take the left leg under or straight, if you like the bottom straight-legged version. Then the right leg on top. So adjust your seat, adjust your foundation, get your legs so that they feel somewhat comfortable. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe you already feel a decent stretch on the outside of that top leg. Inhale your arms out to a T again. This time, stretch the right arm up overhead. Rotate your forearm as if you're patting yourself on the back. It might come to the back of your head or it might come to your neck. Anywhere that's comfortable where you feel like you can sit up nice and tall and keep that shoulder relaxed. So if it's coming out to the back of your head, you can simply be like this. Rotate the left arm so that the thumb is down and bring the back of your hand to your back. So as if you're trying to reach your two fingertips together. But more importantly, remember, we want to sit up with a nice straight spine and keep the chest broad. Find your gaze point and then find your breath. As we sit in a position for a certain period of time, you need at least 30 seconds for the muscles to say, it's safe for us to let go and stretch. We have these amazing, wonderful, protective stretch reflexes that we want to turn off. You just need a little coaxing. So remember, we're inviting these shapes into our bodies. We definitely don't want to force ourselves into poses. Let's take a couple more deep breaths. With your next exhalation, no hurry to get there. Just slowly release the arms. Shake them out, roll your shoulders. And then you can unwind your legs. Let's keep the knees bent. You can remove what it is you're sitting on. It might be easier to do what we're going to do next. Let's keep the knees bent. Sit back and recline on your outstretched arms. And let's keep your feet nice and wide. The wider they are, the more you're going to feel this in your hips. And just slowly rock your knees side to side. Let that bottom hip come right up off the floor. We windshield wiper our hips, getting into the lower back. This one has a nice little eyeball stretch while we're stretching everything else. The next time your knees come over to the left, let them land. Sit up nice and tall. Start to rotate left like you're winding yourself up. Go as far as you can with your torso, then as far as you can with your neck, and then as far as you can with your gaze. So your eyeballs themselves, your vision is looking all the way over to the left. Stretching out the right side of the eye. Find some nice deep breaths. Let the breath make space in and around all of the bones and structures on the torso. When you're wound up, it may not be as easy to do that. But breathe against that, just like we were breathing against our hands when we made our little hut packs. It's that same sensation. We're breathing against the twist. Inviting that space in, that space for ease and peace. Our energy flows better. Let's take 3 more full deep breaths here. And with your next exhalation, just slowly bring the eyes back to center And then the head comes over the breastbone, and then the torso. We slowly unwind ourselves and just rotate the knees over to the other side. Let them land. And here we are in our twist on the other side. So we start with the twisted hips. Twist your torso. I like to keep my fingers tented to remind myself to sit up nice and tall. Twist your neck and then twist your gaze so you're looking out of the side of your the right side of your eyes. And find that breath. One more full breath in. As you exhale it out, slowly unwind the eyes, your neck, your torso. Bring your knees back to center. And just do a couple of windshield wipers just to release any leftover tension. And let's roll right over onto the left side and come right up onto hands and knees. Let's place the hands under the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. The hands and knees are both shoulder width and hip distance apart. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Curl your toes under. We're going to pop right up into a downward facing dog. This is a great total body stretch. So keep your knees bent a lot first. Stick your tail high in the air to maintain the neutral curves of the spine. And then slowly, as you start to straighten the knees, you start to lower the heels toward the floor. And then you can bend and straighten one leg and then the other. Just starting to slowly coax the back of the legs open. Slide the shoulders and shoulder blades away from the ears. Inhale up onto your tippy toes. Stretch the bottoms of the feet. Slowly exhale the feet down toward the floor and really press your way up into your full expression of your downward facing dog. So the tail is tipping high to the sky. Belly button is pulled in. Let's take one full breath here. And as you exhale, slowly start to walk your hands up to your feet up to your hands. Let your torso hang heavily in a forward fold. So let the knees and the hips be bent a lot. Rest your torso right on your thighs. Let the elbows be bent softly. Hands are resting on the floor. Place your hands on your hips. And with a nice neutral spine, press all the way up to stand. Take a peek down and see if your feet are hip distance apart. Pull your belly button in slightly to give your core some support. We're going to come through just a couple of sun salutations. Inhale your arms up high overhead. Keep the shoulders down. Take a peek up at the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, let's place the hands on the shin and find that nice long spine. The tail goes out behind you, the crown of the head is reaching forward, gaze is straight down. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step back with your right foot and come into a nice high lunge. If you prefer, you can put your knee on the floor. It's up to you. Make sure your feet and your front foot and your back foot have a good distance in between them. Take one more breath in. As you blow it out, step your left foot back into a momentary plank. Again, you can stay here on your hands and your feet, or you can come down onto your knees, making sure you have that nice straight spine, tail to crown. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Take one more full breath in here. Exhale, knees, belly, chest, and chin to the floor. Flip your feet. Inhale, lift your heart and chest up off the floor. Shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, release. Inhale, press back up through table and come into downward facing dog. Reset your pose. Inhale, step your left foot forward into a high lunge, or the knee comes down into a low lunge. Exhale it all out. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Here we are in a forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, come back into your half lift with your hands on your shins. Nice straight spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, all the way up. Reach for the sky, take a peek up. We'll come through that one more time. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, belly buttons tucked in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back with the left leg into a high lunge. Exhale, step the right leg back into a plank, slowly lowering yourself down, knees, belly, chest, chin. Flip the feet. Inhale, press up into cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, up through table, flip the toes and come all the way up into downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale, step the right foot forward into a high lunge. Exhale, step the left foot forward to meet it. Inhale, come to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart center. Close your eyes for a moment and notice what you notice. See how you feel. Take 3 more deep breaths here with your hands at your heart center. Blink your eyes open. Inhale your arms up high overhead one more time. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step right back into a plank pose. Belly button is pulled in. Take a big breath in. Exhale, knees, belly, chest, and chin come to the floor. This is where we do a little bit of physical therapy exercises. So we're going to strengthen our postural muscles, our posterior muscles. Flip your feet so the tops of your feet, the shoelace part, are resting on the floor. Keep your hands just underneath your shoulders. Elbows are squeezed in by your sides. As you inhale, use your back muscles to bring yourself up so you don't have to come up very far. You can press your pubic bone, the front of your pelvis, right into the floor. Now squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, release. We're coming into a little bit of a flow with our breath. Inhale, press up. Again, you're using your core strength. At any time, you could lift your hands up off the ground. You can try it if you want. Exhale, release. 3 more times. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, release. You can push the fronts of your legs into the floor for support. Inhale up. Shoulders are back and down. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Keep your chin resting on the floor right where it is. As you bring your arms down by your sides, your palms are on the ground. As you squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your torso up off the ground, including your arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Squeeze. Release. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the torso up. Keep breathing. Release. Inhale up. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Keep your gaze down in front of you. Exhale, release. Now switch your arm position out to a T. So your arms are coming straight out from your shoulders. We're just switching the orientation of the arms. The palms are still facing the floor. As you inhale the torso and arms up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, release. So if you want to do some of this, you'll have this recording, but these are called I, T, and Y. Just think about the orientation of your arms. Inhale up, this is obviously T. I was with our arms down by our sides. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, release. Next letter is Y. I like to bring my arms right up over my head, the shape of a Y. Make sure your thumbs are pointed up toward the sky. If you bring your arms out nice and wide, like a true Y or a big V, you shouldn't feel any pressure or pain in your shoulders. If you do, bend your elbows and come into cactus arms. Keep your elbows straight if you can, thumbs pointed up. As you inhale, lift the torso and the arms up off the floor, squeezing the shoulder blades together. This position is the most difficult one, I think, or the most challenging one. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up, torso and arms. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Once again, bring your arms down by your sides. If it's okay with the shoulders and you can reach back behind your body and clasp your hands together,
just over the tailbone, you can do that. If you don't have enough room in your shoulders to do that, just bring your arms down by your sides again and have your palms facing the floor. If you can clasp your hands together, or if you have a tie or a strap, you can also hold that in between your two hands. This time, as you inhale, inhale the torso up, lift the hands up off the buttocks, and then lift your legs up. So everything in the back is working. Keep breathing. So we're stretching the front of the body today, strengthening the back of the body. Exhale, release. Let's inhale everything up, lifting everything up. Keep your breath full and deep. Exhale, release. One more time and we will be rewarded. Inhale up with a nice deep, long held yin pose. Exhale, release. Let your arms go, roll over onto your right side. Curl up, bring your knees up towards your chest. Use your bottom arm for a pillow for now. So your knees are curled up to your chest. You're going to take your top arm, if you're on your right side, it's going to be your left arm up in the air. And you're going to reach down and hold your right ankle. So the top leg is just going to be bent, resting on the floor in front of you. And that bottom leg, you're going to draw the knee back as if you're trying to pull the leg behind you. So you get a nice, decent stretch in the right quadriceps and right hip flexor. From here, we can open this up into a twist and really stretch through the front of the chest. If you just let that left shoulder drop open, and then you can take the back of your head and rest it in the palm of your hand. So you've come into cat catches his tail, and we've added a twist. If you can't reach that right foot with your left hand, you can just let the right foot and right leg rest on the floor wherever it goes, as far back as you can bring it. Now close your eyes here, or find that gaze point, that soft gaze point, to rest your eyes and find your breath. Breathe into the twist. Let your breath be full and deep, settling you into each shape. We focus on the physical nature, realizing that the physical pose is just one branch out of 8 of yoga. So we focus on all those details to get our alignment right, to keep our bodies safe. And then we drop all of that and come right back into our breath. Asana is one limb, which is the physical poses. Pranayama is breath. Pratyahara is when we close our eyes, withdrawal of the senses. So we try to bring in as many aspects of yoga into our practice. We practice it on our mats so that we can live our yoga. and we go back out into our lives. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here, and our cat catches his tail with a twist. Slowly let that bottom leg go. Don't let it slingshot. And roll back over onto your side, curling up just for a couple breaths. And then you can roll over onto your other side. I'm gonna just flip over and face you so that you can see what I'm doing. So the left arm is the bottom arm now. You're laying on your left side. Take that right arm, which is the top arm, reach back and down for the left ankle. Let that right leg be bent and just resting on the floor in front of you. As you reach for that ankle, draw the knee back behind you so you can stretch the front of that leg and hip. And then if you want to turn this into a twist, let that right shoulder come back and find the palm of your hand with the back of your head. Notice if this feels more intense on one side than the other. Usually we have that asymmetrical movement patterns and habits that I was mentioning earlier. And yoga finds them because we'll say, oh, the left side feels much tighter than the right side. So we come into these shapes to hopefully start to even ourselves out. Abnormal rubbing in the joints or bones can cause arthritis. So we want to make sure that we have space, so much space in our bodies, inside the joints, in the soft tissues, so that we can move with ease and comfort, so that our blood vessels and nerves have plenty of room to function optimally. Our subtle energetic pathways have lots of space to flow freely. Our breath can always be full and deep. Everything gets a tune-up. As we rest here together, let's take 3 more deep breaths. Slowly release the grip on the bottom foot. Curl back up onto your side. And remember we did earlier, one arm stretched above the head and the other one stretched behind the back. I'm going to turn my back to you so that you can see what we're going to do. I'm going to revisit that, but in a different orientation. So here you are curled up on your side, and you have that bottom arm as a pillow. Reach back with the bottom arm, with your fingertips reaching for your back, the same way that you were trying to pat yourself on the back when we were sitting up. Take your top hand, flip it so that the back of your hand finds your back, just like earlier, and then slowly roll over onto your hands. Now, once you get here, you may say, oh, I need to wiggle that bottom hand down or up a little bit. I can wiggle that top hand down a little bit further and rest my head on my forearm, whatever that may be. Let the chest be broad. If this is causing too much sensation, bring the hands further away from each other. You can just rest the head in the palm of your top hand. If you're okay, bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to do a lot of work in this one. Let the knees fall apart. And then wherever your head is, slowly press that ridge or the back of your head, either into your arm or to the floor or your hand, just slightly. We continue with our suboccipital release, those little muscles just at the base of that ridge on the back of your skull. And then find some nice deep breaths. Release the push of the head. Stay just like this, with the front of the body open. Taking 3 more very deep breaths. So we can come into the same shapes, whether we're seated or laying down or standing up. It's the same feeling sense, the same concepts. When you're ready, slowly roll back over onto your side, bring the knees together. And bring that bottom arm out from under, and the top arm out from under, and roll over onto your back for a moment. Hug your knees into your chest. Just take a nice squeeze in. Curl up into a ball, bring your forehead up toward your knees, and just take a counter stretch, stretching the whole back of the body. Let's bring the feet back down to the floor, same with the torso, and briefly roll over onto the other side as we stretch the arms on that side. So this time, the arm that's under your head becomes the arm that you pat yourself on the back with. The top arm flips around, you find your back with the back of your hand. Slowly and easy, roll over onto your back. So you're laying on your hands. You can adjust the position of your hands now that you're there. And once again, take a reclined butterfly by bringing the soles of your feet together. Let the knees splay out to the side again. You can close your eyes or find your gaze point up at the ceiling and find your breath. We've stretched our hips in all available directions. We've moved our spine in all of the degrees of range of motion. We've reduced the neck, impact function in the shoulders and the torso. Lengthened, strengthened. Let's take 3 more of our deepest breaths yet. Slowly start to roll back over to release the bottom arm first. Curl up onto your side and just close your eyes for a few breaths. Just see how everything is feeling so far. We've done a lot of intense stretching. See how your body feels.
And from the quiet of this side lying rest position, tune in and see what else may serve you or benefit you. And take the next several breaths and make some movement that would feel good in your body. So maybe you feel like there's an unfinished stretch to be had. A little more wiggling around. Take time to do that now. And then when you feel completed in your practice, the formal part of your practice, find your way into a nice, comfortable relaxation pose. So you can stay curled up on your side, you can lay on your back, belly, find a spot to put your legs up. Cover yourself with a blanket. Close your eyes. And here is my gift to you. Instead of getting you up after Shavasana, what I am going to do is wish you a happy Thanksgiving now. And I will quietly end the formal part of this class and grant you an eternal Shavasana. So because we're home and because we have Zoom, let's bask in the benefit of this remote online class. And I want you to gift yourself in this relaxation pose with the amount of time that you want to stay here. So maybe you drift off to sleep. Maybe you stay for a few extra luxurious moments as you rest heavily. Letting go of your formal practice, relax your muscles. No more holding. No more formal breath work. Just let the natural breath take over. Staying right where you are, letting the heaviness of this shape ease you into a relaxed state even more. Making space in your day for this prolonged rest.